About 80% of horses that make it to their yearling year start in a race. If you ask most owners which race would they most like to win, they'll usually say the Kentucky Derby.
We measure success a little differently than probably most people in corporate America. For us, it's producing stakes horses, producing horses that can go to the gate and run and win competitively. And this individual, when we started sales prepping him, started to display signs of spasticity in his left hind. We don't know if it's acute or if it's something long-term and chronic, something that will impact his soundness or his racing ability long-term. There's so much money invested in these horses, so we want the best practitioners available to us. And honestly, the quality of care for the horses is far superior to that for my family.
All right, so what you're seeing is that he's not handling the hind leg appropriately. He's not smooth when he moves.
Right, he just has kind of an accelerated gait just in the left hind.
So it's not a head nodding lameness or anything like that. It's just how that he handles his hind leg.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, well that'll take some work, and we'll want to certainly check him out to be sure he has no neurologic problems. Many of our clients are in the commercial horse business. It's expensive to train a horse, and you want to know that you have a chance to have a productive racehorse and that you're not spending money on something that has no chance to race. About 80% will start in a race, and then 20% will get derailed because of injury or disease or something that affects their performance. All right, let's go the other way. Jog a circle to the right. Every horse should be balanced and symmetrical. They carry a little more in front than they do on the hinds. We're looking for things like subtle elevations when the horse is moving. If they get really lame, they'll actually nod their head. What you have to determine is which leg is the problem and where in that limb is the problem. Oh, he has an abnormal gait in the left hind. He's a little lame in the right hind, but he began to do the spastic catching on his left hind limb. There, he just did it right there. The reason they catch is they got a ligament that hooks over the inside on the stifle. It's that same ligament they can hook when they're standing and sleeping and don't have to use their muscle. Sometimes this is the first sign you see when they have a neck problem. So we probably ought to x-ray his neck too, just to be sure before we spend money training him. If you try to work with the idea that this horse is a potential Kentucky Derby winner and so I'm going to do something different, that doesn't work out. You do everything at the highest level you possibly can for every horse, and then a few of those Derby winners will come along.
Very good.
The spinal cord runs through the middle of these vertebrae. If the canal is small, they have a chance to pinch the cord. It'll cause them lameness or coordination problems. Fortunately, that's not the case here. This is a physical maturity problem similar to maybe a tall, gangly high school kid that hasn't really grown into his size yet. He's locking his patella in the left hind.
Okay, so you think Monday we can start him if we do a couple of days of hand walking through the weekend and a little round pen, couple hours? Maybe?
Sure. Usually exercise is the best thing for him, and as soon as you can start breaking him, I'd move on.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Do I get to do this with her?
That's my hero.
Being a veterinarian on racehorses has another dimension. Dogs and cats, it's rewarding to return them to their owners, but they basically have to be able to get up on the sofa and get off and walk up and down stairs and be happy. In the racehorse, not only do they have to be sound, but they have to come back and perform. It's really fun to send the yearlings like him home. In 2 years, he'll be eligible for the Kentucky Derby. He's of a high enough level genetic pool that he's got a chance.
It is a comprehensive 3-year endeavor getting these horses in the starting gate, and you have to employ the most dedicated professionals and people who care about your program and make good decisions on behalf of the animals that you breed. This is the culmination of 3 years of hard work. The feeling that you have, either horses that you've purchased, that you've watched come, and you see it all come to fruition here, it's absolutely exhilarating.